Welcome to the Making It Work podcast. My bestie, Barkha.
Hi.
Barkha, let's start off by hearing a little bit about you. What do you do for work? Generally, what do you do in life? Yeah, tell us about yourself.
That's always the most daunting question, isn't it? Like, tell us about yourself. What do you
Tell me
do?
about yourself. This is
Yeah.
a job
Yeah,
interview.
like where do I begin? So I am a manager of customer success. I work in tech. I've been in tech for the last 10 years, and I've been living in Yaletown for the last 6 years. And other than that, I love nature, which is why we kind of find ourselves here. I was born and raised in Mauritius. So when I say I love nature, I actually do mean that I need it in order to feel grounded and at home in myself. But yeah, I'm trying to think about what else I can say. I am also a coach. Wow, I forgot to mention that part. That's how I met Sophia as well. We were in the same coaching program together. So I am a career coach as well.
Amazing. Tell us a little bit more about your work as a customer success manager. How did that start? How did you get into it? What led you into that? And what does it look like today?
Oh, that's a story. All right. Are we ready to
We're
get
ready.
ready to get in? So I remember my last year in university, I was so clear about what it is that I wanted to do. And in my mind, in tech, that would mean managing accounts, but not being responsible for selling. And I thought that that was just a pipe dream. And I didn't know that that role existed. So when I was looking for roles online, on LinkedIn, and all of the good stuff, I kept coming across the term account manager. And every time I kind of felt myself light up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the dream job that I always thought I wanted in my head. But anybody who's in sales or in tech would know that account manager actually means that you're a salesperson. And every time I would go in the interview and I'd be like, huh? What is it that you did? And I would realize it wasn't for me. So eventually I gave up. Um, and I remember this very clearly. I was at Steamworks with a couple of friends from university and I was crying into my beer. I was like, this
Oh.
is not happening. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I don't know where I'm going to go. And I think it was just to make me stop crying. One of my friends opened up LinkedIn right there. There's LinkedIn app obviously on the phone,
Yeah.
and he was just like, I'm gonna find you something right now so you can stop.
We're gonna fix
Like,
you.
yeah, we're gonna fix you, stop. Like, people are watching us.
Oh my god.
And he went on, and quickly he just, it was like the first or the second thing that came up, and it was nothing to do with what I wanted, but it was like a marketing role. And he was like, look, this is a marketing role at this company, you can apply to it, just like apply to it right now. And I was like, okay, no, thank you for finding this for me, thank you so much. I'll look into this when I'm sober and I'll
Hmm.
apply. I went onto the company's website after, when I was sober, decided to not go for that marketing role, but decided to go for another analyst role that I saw on there instead. And that was a great move because that marketing role ended up dissolving within like 6 months of me being in the company. So I get the job, and 6 months into doing the analyst role, my then boss at the time comes to me and says, hey, we're starting up a new department and it's called customer success. And I need help with this. So can you just do some research on what the role is and create a job description for me? I need to post this online. And I go, I start doing research on this job to put together the job description. And in real time, I'm realizing this is the job that I was looking for like 6 months ago that I couldn't find anywhere, which is what led me to crying into my beer at Steamworks. Of traumatizing my friends. And it kind of, I got very lucky in terms of how everything worked out, where I was like, no, this is the job that I always wanted. And I went to my then manager, asked if I can apply for the role, and he was like, you know what, I knew that you'd be perfect for it, I just didn't want it to come from me, I wanted it to come from you. And
Wow, that's
yeah.
very coach like of him.
Yeah, yeah. So I moved over and I basically I was the first CSM, and I helped create the customer success function from the ground up with
Wow.
other people as well that we brought on. But I think being one of the first and being the person that was building it up from the beginning, it allowed me to move up the ladder faster as
Mm,
well. So then that allowed me to go from associate CSM to CSM to intermediate CSM. Then I went into team lead, and then I went into management. So kind of went through all of that in the 7 years that I was at the company.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
You've grown a lot
It's
since that
yeah,
day at Steamworks.
yeah,
Craig and Revere.
crying into my beer. Yes,
So you obviously mentioned a very challenging moment in your career.
yeah.
Are there any others that you can think of, maybe since then, where you had a similar situation? Maybe
Mm,
not crying into your beer, but something else where you felt
mm.
really stuck.
I feel like, and maybe people will be able to relate to this. I have found myself to go through periods of this. So
Mm,
it's not that I can pinpoint one specific very challenging thing that I went through in my life. I can see a pattern now that I've kind of gone through it enough times, and the pattern for me is that I tend to put myself last. So I'll give an example. 2020 was unprecedented times, where at a time where everybody was losing their job, our company was actually doing really, really well, which meant that a lot more work. And also meant that hiring was frozen. So it doesn't matter that we're getting more work, there wasn't more investment being made in the workforce. So there was a lot of work to be done. And as a result of that, because I've always pride myself in the caliber of work that I do, I do what it takes to make sure that the work that I'm producing is up to a certain level, even if that means not taking care of myself.
mm,
And now I have seen that period or that pattern enough times to start noticing the the telltale signs. The telltale signs will be, I don't have time to go for a walk. I don't have time for a workout. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't want to eat healthy. Like, I just finished work, I'm exhausted, I really want fries. And in the
mm.
moment, like now, logically, not being in that phase, not being in that period, I can say, oh, these are the telltale signs. Like, that's so easy for me to
In hindsight,
identify in
yeah,
hindsight. But in that moment, all logic goes out the window. Like, your brain tells you you deserve fries.
yeah.
You're like, yeah, I do deserve fries.
But it's so crazy because, like, exactly those signals that you're talking about are so, like, quiet in the moment. Like, you will not realize. And it's only after you go through things like burnout or, like, those kind of situations that you go through that you then start to notice the pattern. And then it becomes easier to recognize later on. And I feel like a lot of people think, we naturally, ooh, bubbles.
Oh.
It feels very sticky when you're in it, and, like, it's obviously very unpleasant. Why am I here? Like, why is this kind of happening to me? But if we look at, like, well, what is it also teaching you? It's starting to teach you these signals, which then you can later
Hmm.
see and figure out that maybe
Yeah.
something else is going on here, right? But,
Yeah.
like, if we never go through it, we'll never know. Do you
Hmm.
find that's been the case for you? Like,
Yeah. No,
mm,
exactly. When now I know that it, because for me before it used to seem uh too far fetched to
mm.
have certain things as non-negotiables in my day. Whereas
Why?
now,
Why did it feel
exactly,
like?
because there were just so many things happening that it felt crazy to say that I need to move my body every day and have a workout every day. That seemed crazy to have as a non-negotiable. But now, like now that I'm not in that period, I can kind of make that decision for myself. No, this is a non-negotiable. That means that even if it is sneaking out at lunch or as soon as I'm done work, instead of just ruminating at the laptop or at the desk, just going outside for a bit, getting some movement, then
Mhm.
coming back and continuing if that's what I need to do. So when things get busy, that's at least the commitment that I have to myself that I don't negotiate with myself on.
Gotcha. Back to those
Hmm.
non-negotiables. We haven't talked about pivots yet.
Pivots.
Yeah.
When it comes to pivot, I don't have one in the very stereotypical way that you would think about where I changed the job, other than what I said, where I had done the job of an analyst for 6 months and then pivoted into customer success. And the reason why I haven't had a lot of very um, hard pivots is because I've always been clear about what I like, what I want, and
Mm.
what I need to do. And I've always been someone who is just very driven by passion. And I know my old boss used to laugh at me, but I would genuinely show up fired up if it's a day that I'm spending in the boardroom and we're just strategizing. You know the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like
You're a
you
whiteboard
you
girl.
you've seen the memes of like the guy with the
He's
whiteboard
like
looking
crazy eyes, yeah.
crazy. Yeah, that's me. Like that is me at work because I'm genuinely like passionate about what I do.
I can kind of imagine you like really getting into the things.
Yeah, I was like, and then we do this, and then we do this, and can you think about this? So like that was my heaven because you get lunch ordered in, you get coffee delivered to you. It was just like it was my little paradise. Now I'm not being ironic when I say that, right? So this is where I've gotten lucky, where I have had a passion about these like the strategy aspect of my job, the problem solving aspect of my job. I've been really passionate about it. But the pivot that I will say in that context has been when I ran out of steam in my passion. There
Mm.
was definitely a point, and I could probably explore what led to me losing that fuel or losing that fire when it comes about customer success.
Mhm.
Maybe I was inundated with a lot of leadership asks that I lost the original passion for why I got into
Mhm.
it. But that's where the pivot for me happened is because like I'm driven by passion, and all of a sudden the passion about customer success started to die down.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden I was like, I don't know what is keeping me showing up to my job, because that's what kept me going. Like if I'm so fired up about that, that's what got me motivated to show up every day.
But question,
Mhm.
before we get more into the actual pivot, like
Mhm.
how did you know that that lights you up? Like the things you're talking about, being in a boardroom, strategizing, like what were
Mm,
like how do we know? Because we're very clear on what we don't like, I feel like,
yeah,
but like how do you actually know you like it?
but you know how you find out what you don't like?
Mm.
You do it and then you realize you don't like it.
Right.
So prior to me joining corporate, I didn't know that a boardroom is my happy place because I had not ever been in a boardroom.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I just did it and I felt good doing it. I felt excited doing it. I think
Mhm.
that's what it is. I felt, I know people use the term lit up a lot, but I truly feel lit up doing it.
Mhm.
So part of this, I think the advice that I like to give people is to just try things, because you never know. And it's completely fine to try things and be like, well, I knew this was going to be a bust and it is. And it's like, that's fine. You just double
At least
checked.
I yeah.
Yeah, at least now
Very
you
true.
know.
Mhm.
And for everything that I'm certain about, that I'm passionate about and I like, there's like 100 things that I know I don't like. I had to kind of
Mhm.
just keep trying,
It's
keep
trial and
trying.
error,
Yeah.
the volume game. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I've also done prior to the role, I also did a lot of like volunteer roles where I was trying different things. So I had many different skills that I've got to build over
Mhm.
time, but there's also like things that I've got to learn about myself. I don't like doing this. I do like doing this. I do well with people. I actually do like face to face. I
Mhm.
do like listening to people talk and being able to help them in real time, like things like that. I've kind of just learned along the way.
Mhm.
But yeah, so then when we kind of go to the pivot, once I started losing steam about customer success, I felt this emptiness of, because it made my work harder. It made showing up to work so much harder. You wake
Mm.
up in the morning, you're like, okay, the best thing about my day today is going to be coffee.
Oh gosh.
Like
That's when you know it's
that's
bad.
like that.
Why do you think you like eventually lost that passion though? Because like if it's something you're passionate
Mm,
about,
yeah.
you'd think that it lasts forever and you're gonna be going to boardrooms for like 20, 30 years in your career and you'll always be excited. Why
Well,
did it
you
stop?
you know why it stopped?
Why?
Because I wasn't in boardrooms because the pandemic happened.
Ah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. It
Yeah.
got fully removed.
I got fully removed from
Yeah.
the very aspect that fuel me. And I'm talking about very early days. My passion is back. Don't worry. But at that time, to be so like that's what made 2020, 2021 so hard, right? Like the life kind of just did a 180 on you
Yep.
in the moment. So yeah, the people aspect, the connection, the collaboration, the relationship building, the riffing off of each other, the being in a room together and whiteboarding, those were all the things that I was that that made me happy, and everything got removed and I'm just in my living room
Yeah. But you
working.
know what's crazy? I was just like thinking about this. There's so many people probably out there who maybe like you felt passionate about what they were doing before COVID and then COVID hit, but like they don't even realize that because they're now remote or they're like not going in person, they're not having that connection,
Hmm.
something feels off. But like not everyone lands a finger on like
On
why
what it
that
is.
is and what it is. And they're
Yeah.
still like, okay, it must be the industry I'm in. It must be the career I'm in.
Yeah.
Which, like, for you, you could have very easily said, maybe it's just customer success, right? That I don't enjoy, but it
I
actually
did.
ended up
I did.
you were
I
questioning
did
that.
go through that phase. I did. I hate, but yeah, to your point, I think the what helped me is also understanding this concept of personal values, right? Like we all have values that we need to get met in order for us to be fulfilled.
Mhm.
And it's an exercise that you have to go through for yourself, and it's you have to basically go through your life and see what makes you happy. And the times that I have been the happiest is when I'm working with people, unfortunately.
Gotta work with
Yeah,
people to be
I
happy.
like, yeah, I like collaborating, I like being around
Yeah.
people, I like the connection, the growing together,
Hmm.
just the bond that it builds over time. So um to your point earlier, a lot of people go through that and don't realize it. I've had coaching clients come to me about that, and
Mm.
as we start digging into it, it turns out they recently went through an org change that led to them feeling even more isolated.
Hmm.
And being someone who values collaboration and connection, they couldn't quite pinpoint why all of a sudden they're not motivated to show up at work.
Mm.
And thankfully she got a coach, so we were able to figure it out together. But at the time, I think that's also why I'm always such a big advocate of having a coach, because yeah, I got there eventually, but
Took way
it
longer
took way longer,
and way in a
painful,
way more
yeah, in a
painful
way more
hard way
painful
than
way,
it needed
yeah.
to be. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
totally.
But like you said, I definitely went through a phase where I was like, maybe it's customer success,
Hmm.
which is such a heartbreaking thing. Like, it was such a heartbreaking thing for me, because at one point, this is what I was crying about because I didn't have. Because I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. And
Hmm.
not finding that, or having that not be an opportunity, is something that, yeah, made me really sad once upon a time. So you would think that once you get it, you'd want to be in it forever. And that was a heartbreaking just fact to sit with.
Hmm.
Thankfully, eventually I realized that that's not true.
Mm. So tell us how you got into coaching then. Like, so you're unhappy with where you are,
Yeah,
and you're like, I need whatever I had before, which was
the
that
passion.
connection, that passion.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, how did you find that? How did the opportunity come up?
I kind of thought my solution to not feeling motivated to work was to throw myself deeper into work,
Hmm.
and hope that that will fix it. So I was like, no, I just need to maybe have deeper one-on-ones. Like, I need to dig deeper into the accounts that are in my portfolio. Like, maybe I need to just have a growth plan for everybody on my team. Like, I need to do more. And it
Hmm.
kind of kept throwing myself back, or thinking that the answer was there.
Yeah.
So in a way that, like, I'm glad I did that, because from the standpoint of my career didn't suffer just because I was misaligned.
Right.
So and that's something that for me is important, but I understand that it's not, when you don't have the capacity to care for that. I can understand why that wouldn't be on top of anybody's priority list.
Yeah.
But for me, it was very important for my career to not suffer, and for me to still show up the way that I would have wanted to, despite the
Hmm.
misalignment. So throwing myself deeper into work, it worked for the time. Um, but at a company kickoff, HR was on the stage, and they announced that as part of investing into people in the company, they were starting a they were going to basically support 5 people in the company to go through a coaching program at UBC to take a 1-year certification course. And I gotta tell you, they it was a company kickoff, so you can imagine the big stage, all the rah rah. So everybody was excited. There was so much excitement in the room when that was presented, and I remember the only excitement I felt at the time was, yeah, this is cool. Like, glad finally they're investing in their people. that that was like the only kind of reaction that I had.
Mhm.
A week later, in a one-on-one, somebody on my team told me, "Did you like have you thought about applying for this? I think you'd be good at it." And I said, absolutely not. I have not thought about it. Like, I don't think that that's something I would want to do.
Mhm.
But the side note is, it's probably because I threw myself into work and into trying to figure out what I can do better that led to that
That
person
opportunity coming up.
thinking
Yeah.
that, hey, you'd be good for this. Think about it.
Mhm.
But, anyways, I said no. And then I kept going on with my life. But it was just on my mind. It stayed on my mind. I couldn't forget about it. And eventually I was like, why is it still on my mind? Usually when I say no to something, it's a no.
Mhm.
And I kept thinking about it. I was like, okay, fine. Like, I'll just apply. Who knows? It's a big company. Everybody's going to apply. At the end of the day, only 5 people are going to get it. So I go through the application process and they accept me. So then I have to go through the second round. Part of the second round, I had to write like an application essay, I think it was, right? Like,
Mhm.
you had to answer a few questions for
Mhm.
the application process. And part of that question asked me, why do I want to do this? Like, what would make me good at this, and why do I think I need this? And that forced me to really sit down and think about what is going on and why do I want to do it. It's not just, hey, let's just apply for the sake of applying. But at the time, it made me realize that the world had changed, obviously, and that meant that people were showing up differently at
Mhm.
work. Being a manager did not just mean managing somebody's work, it meant managing all of that person, because there was no divide anymore. Right? Pre pandemic, you put on your clothes, you put on your blazer, you show up to work. There's a part of you that you leave at home when you do
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
It's very different when you're working from home. In a period, or a period of time where everybody was very scared and dealing with a lot of uncertainty in life. And that forced me to realize that, yeah, like, these things, what's happening in somebody's personal life does show up at work. You can't just yell at someone for not being able to do something and expect them to change their behavior if there's something deeper going on.
Totally.
It doesn't make you responsible for fixing that, but it also kind of informs you that, hey, this is not, I could waste my energy
Mhm.
writing you up, yelling at you, telling you to do better. It's just not going to
It's
lead
not,
to,
yeah,
yeah,
nothing's, it's not going to be like productive actual change
yeah,
if there's something underlying.
yeah, exactly.
So, were you like consciously thinking in the moment, like, I'm going to do this program so that I can better manage the full human that I'm working with?
Yes,
Wow,
yes,
that's some self awareness.
yeah. And in answering those, like, the questions that I had to kind of
Mhm.
answer as part of the application, that's when it really got me thinking and realizing that, hey, I've been throwing myself back into work thinking that if I just do more, if I just do better, my passion will come back.
Mhm.
And here is this opportunity that will actually allow me to do more and do better. So now I was like, okay, maybe this was the way to do
Mm.
it versus what I was trying to do before. But in answering these questions and digging deeper into myself, I actually realized, wait, this is something really cool and really interesting. And it would be really fun to have this as a skill set, because not only would it make me a better manager, but it would also allow me to explore one of the passions that I have, which is just getting to know people better and understanding people. Right? That's a core element of customer success.
Yeah.
When you say account manager, there's a person behind that account that you're, you know, managing.
Yeah. I think we all forget that with like any field or industry or like, you know, just area of work in general. Like,
Hmm.
whether it's customer success, obviously sales, they're more like human facing, but things that are like sometimes more back end, like finance, marketing, like they're at the end of the day are always humans behind everything.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to forget that when you're like, you feel like a cog in a machine,
Yes.
and you're just like, okay, get the work done, like get this out, like what's the actual, like I'm so far from the output that I don't even understand how this impacts anything other than like bottom line,
Hmm.
which doesn't feel obviously very meaningful for a lot of people.
Yeah. So the word that you use is impact, which is exactly what has always driven me, right?
Mm.
Like, why is the whiteboard session so exciting? It's because we're figuring out a way to get to that impact.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes me excited, because I know that at the end of that, at the end of this problem solving, at the end of this process that we're designing, is the impact that we want to have. Whether
Mm-hmm.
that was through the product that we have, through the job that we have, like through whatever we were doing, the hiring that we were doing, there was always the impact at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was the driving force. And yeah, and I think it was like as I was applying, I kind of convinced myself that hey, this would actually be really cool. And as I kind of got deeper through the process, and as I started taking the course, that's when it lit up that passion
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of extinguished in me for a bit. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of happy to say that I needed that detour. So coaching was that like passionate detour for me to then make me reconnect with my passion with customer success, which is now why I'm happily both, happily
Mm.
manager in customer success and also a coach.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost like the little side quest that we
It's
talked
the
about,
side
right?
quest.
Side
Yeah.
quest to get me
Yeah.
back to the main thing.
Yeah. But it also goes to show like nothing is really separate, right? Like it is all connected. And we may not realize how it's connected in the moment, but you just kind of have to be far along enough to be able to look back and actually see how it connects.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Beautifully said. You
Mm.
said one of your values is impact.
Mhm.
What are your other values? And also, how did you end up realizing those are your values?
Yeah, it's the same as what we've been talking about. We just kind of have to try things, right? Like with coaching, if once that person had said to me, "Hey, I think you'd be really good at it," I said no, and I stuck to no because
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen myself as a coach. Because I think that's where it is, right? Like our identity, we get so tied to our identity, so
Yep.
we don't want to veer away from it. So being okay with just trying things, that's because you never know, that might be like your next passion, or it might be just like exactly what you needed to light up that fire again. So the same thing with values. It's I've learned more from the things that I don't like
Mm-hmm.
about the things that I value. I had to go through periods of just my life being all about work and sleep
Mm-hmm.
to realize that I value time outside in nature.
Yeah, it's almost like when you remove it, then you
Then you kind of
realize it's
realize the
missing. It's the same
importance
with
of
like
it.
health, right? We always say that,
Yes,
like we don't appreciate our health until it's gone,
until
and
you're
then
sick and you can't, or like you,
yeah,
you don't appreciate breathing through your nose until you can't, and you
dude,
just like
yeah,
take
that's
things for
crazy.
granted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say when it comes to personal values, impact, connection, collaboration, health, movement, like I think feeling
Mm-hmm.
good in my body
Mm-hmm.
is definitely something that's valuable to me.
I'm curious if there's ever been a moment where you've felt the most stuck in career or life. Like, what's like the first moment that comes to mind for you? Like, I was very stuck then.
Yeah. There's two moments that I can think about. I'll talk about when I was ready to leave my previous company,
Mm.
and I had not yet. I basically spent a year of feeling really stuck, and that has nothing to do with the company or the work that was happening. It was just purely the fact that I had been there for 7 years, and I had grown a lot
Mm.
and learned a lot. But there's always a part of me, and I'm sure more people will be able to relate to this, but there's always a part of me that craves novelty. And
That's such a big theme in my coaching clients as well.
Yeah.
Is like seeking novelty. Yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, so it was like there's a part of that's part of what drives me, but also um exponential growth. Like I, as you've been able to tell from what I've said, like it is very important to me to keep growing as a professional. Like I do put a lot into my career and I take a lot of pride in the work that I do, which means that it is important for me to continue being better. Like I need to be a better manager today than I was a year ago. Like
Mhm.
that's a need. It's
Mhm.
not even like a nice to have, it's a need. So when you kind of combine the two after 7 years, I had been working with the same product, working with the same people, the processes were the same, like everything was at the core of it was the same. And I'm careful about the wording of that because I work in tech. And if anybody works in tech, they know that change is constant. So it's really hard to explain that change was constant, yes, but at the same time, everything was the same. And that's where I did not recognize at the time that it was novelty and growth. I think I
Mhm.
spent a long time being, not a long time. I spent a while there being resentful of everything that I was seeing around me on like the ground level because I couldn't pull myself out to get the big picture and see like, oh no, it's just time for you to leave. It's just time for you to grow differently. It's just time for you to get that novelty. Instead, what we think about is, oh, I hate this coworker. Right? Like you'll kind of find your
it
problems
it's
and
very easy to find the externals
yeah,
that explain what you're feeling, and it's like that's a good enough explanation. It must be the
yeah,
coworker.
yeah, it must be that I hate this collaborative project. Even though collaboration is one of my values, I'm like, it must be that I just hate working with this person. It must be that everyone else around me is just making terrible decisions
Hmm.
and everyone else is the problem except for me. Right? Like it's so easy to get stuck in that. And I
Yeah.
think that's what actually makes you feel stuck. Like you're not ever actually stuck in life, right? Like it's your
Mm.
perspective that makes you think that. Because if I had the ability to zoom out at the time, again, this is why getting a coach is very important.
Get a
Get
coach.
a coach.
This is not sponsored by coaches.
Like
Uh,
if somebody was able to like pull me out and say you just need growth and you just need novelty, which means that it's time for you to leave, and it's okay, you think that you won't get another job,
mhm,
but we'll work through that, we'll figure out, we'll create a plan
mhm.
so that way you will get another job where you will find the growth opportunities that you're looking for. If somebody had said that to me, there's no way I would have felt stuck.
Right, because you're like, all right, they see me,
Yeah.
they understand where I'm at, I know where I'm at, and I know what I need to do.
Yes.
Versus,
Yes.
I feel stuck, I don't know what to do.
Versus
Yeah.
not having that perspective, that higher level perspective, and
Hmm.
just being in the mud almost is what I would describe it as, where I'm like, this process sucks. This department, everybody's useless. This
Yeah.
product, oh my God, there's so many issues with this product. Oh, I hate this customer. This customer will not renew. Like, and it's just you kind of keep finding all of these things and it creates this like vortex of negativity around you. And that's what keeps you feeling
Very
stuck
stuck. Yeah.
because you're stuck in place with all this negativity just like floating around you.
Hmm.
So yeah, that I spent a good chunk of time feeling stuck, and because I have the perspective now, I can look back and say, oh, I wasn't stuck. But at that time, if you were to read my journals, the word stuck came up a lot.
Yeah.
But
The word stuck comes up a lot in general for people that are feeling like generally unfulfilled with what they're doing, unhappy, like whether it's life or a career, it's always like I'm stuck. And it is such a perspective thing. You're totally right. Because like you're technically moving every day, moving forward towards something. You're still seeing your friends and family. You're still going outside.
oh,
Oh,
hi, yo. Oh,
so
somebody's
cute.
dog.
Um, so it's actually impossible that you're stuck.
Yeah.
Because like yeah, you're stuck because you're creating this kind of reality for yourself where things are just spiraling and feeling
Hmm.
like they're staying the same. But yeah, you're right. It just takes a perspective shift to get you out of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does require leaving. And so I think you having had the clarity that like why you were leaving that company must have been
Hmm.
really helpful versus I think a lot of people will run away from things.
Yeah.
So they'll leave because it's like this is too uncomfortable, I feel too stuck. I'm going to leave, but I don't really know the reason why I'm leaving.
Yeah. And you blame
And
it
so
on
you're like
everyone else but you.
and then you're running
Yeah.
away and then like a year down the line you're just in the same exact position.
That part. Yes. Because if you don't get that clarity that that was trying to find you in one situation,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have another situation come up that's going to force you to get that clarity on your own.
Yeah.
Right. But interestingly enough, yeah, and mind you, the job that I got after is way harder because I wanted growth
Mm.
opportunity. Like I found myself in a new environment where I felt challenged because I'm no longer the person who's really good at all of these things. Like I
Mm-hmm.
had to step into that uncomfortable zone of like, I haven't done this before. And I said I want to grow and I said I want to learn. And this was the very specific area that I wanted to grow and learn in. And now I got it.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I always say I am lucky because I do get what I want. Even if it is the
It's
uncomfortable,
painful sometimes,
yeah, it's
but
painful
you do get it.
sometimes. But, you
That's
know,
the
like,
case for everyone. Like everyone can get what they want if
yeah.
you just.
Well, you kind of have to have the clarity of what it is that you're looking for, right? So
Mm.
I got the novelty by just switching to a different company. I was selective with the role because I wanted very specific growing opportunities and I wanted very specific areas to flex and go deeper because there's
Mm-hmm.
always like the growth in your career is always like this way or this way. And I wanted both. So I wanted to have the opportunity to do both. I wanted the opportunity to go deeper in the way that I manage and coach people as a manager, and I also wanted
So is
to
that
grow.
this?
Yeah,
And then this is
and then
growth
this is growing
upper.
like
Yeah.
manager, senior manager, and all of that. And in
Yeah.
order for me to like, I know where I want to go in my career, and in order for me to get there, I needed to learn these new skills.
Yeah. Which meant maybe you stay stuck here,
Yeah,
but you're growing this way.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And ironically, which I feel like some people might have the same thing happen to them, but once I got the clarity that, oh, all I wanted at my work or with my work was novelty and growth, I am also a big um, fan of the saying, grow where you've been planted. Right? Is that what it is?
Mm.
Thrive where you've been planted. Do you know that what I'm trying to say?
I kind of do. I don't know the exact saying.
I think it's grow where you've been planted, which means that it means literally that grow where you've been
Mm-hmm.
planted. So I was like, okay, if this is where I'm at right now,
How
and
can
what,
I grow?
yeah, how can I grow?
Yeah.
And this is, and I had again same thing that I had done prior when the coaching opportunity came up, where I was like, this is what I'm gonna do to go harder in my work, to just
Mm-hmm.
focus deeper into my work and to just
Yeah.
get better at what I'm doing. As soon as I made peace with, okay, you know what, there's not a whole lot of opportunities out there right now. I'm just gonna, if this is where I'm at, this is where I'm at. I want growth and I want novelty. I'm gonna figure out how to get it here.
Mm.
And once I figured it out, I'm not even joking, a recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn with the link to a job description that had been posted for like a few weeks and I had never seen it.
Crazy how the
Yeah.
universe works.
And I was reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually exactly, again, this is exactly what I was looking for. But I think there's always something to be said about the timing. Like if we were to go back to the timing of when I was looking for customer success everywhere so desperately, could not find it. And then it's only when I let go and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out where I am now. Like I don't need to get what I want in order to feel the way that I want to.
Mhm.
I'm gonna figure out how to feel the way I want to right here. And that's usually when the opportunity finds me.
Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
Once you become okay with where you are in a way, you're kind of
Yeah,
like
then
you
you're not stuck.
accept. Yeah, you
Yeah.
accept it.
Hmm.
But then I feel like people also get really scared of like accepting their reality because then it's
Yeah.
like that's going to be my reality forever.
Hmm.
And it's actually if I think it's this fine balance of like there's accepting your reality and then like not trying anymore and not like
Yes.
having goals and not pushing yourself, and there's like accepting your reality but still in the back of your mind knowing that like all right, I'm accepting it, but I know that I don't want this to be my like long term, and so I'm
Hmm.
still going to have this like vision for where I want to go, but I don't have to be so obsessed with like how can I
Yeah.
get unstuck,
Yeah.
right?
Well, tell me this about your coaching practice. Do you find that people who are stuck have an obsession with getting out?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I mean that is also why they look for a
A
coach, right?
coach. Yeah.
It's like it's literally like so bad that
Yeah.
I can't like move on with anything else in my life at this point
Yeah.
until I get this figured out,
Yeah.
which again a lot of the coaching does end up being accept where you are first, like
Yeah.
hold on, let's slow down for a moment, like let's look at the good. What do we
Hmm.
have right now that does support you? Maybe you have a job that's like bringing you a lot of stability. That's a huge thing nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Like that's giving you the stability to then go out, experiment. Let's then figure out where you want to go. It doesn't mean we need to accept it and stay here, but like yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's it can feel I think like life or death for people,
Yes,
honestly.
because of that obsession and the holding on tight to like
Yeah.
it's like the way that in coaching we love visual metaphors. The way that I envision it is like prison bars,
Mm,
and then so there's like maybe two prison bars here, and then it opens up here. You just have like two or three prison bars, but you're just clinging on to the two prison bars being like, let me out, let me out, when you could literally just let go and
and
walk
walk
out.
out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
you just gotta like release the grip.
but I think that a lot of the clarity that people are looking for comes once you release it as well. Like once you release that grip, because when you're
So true.
obsessed with it, like when you're obsessed with the problem, all you can think about is the problem. A solution isn't going to come to you when your mind is so wrapped up around a
Yeah,
problem, right? It's going
yeah.
to come after that.
Well, I was gonna ask you your advice for people that want to get unstuck, but it
Oh.
sounds like you've covered a lot of it. Any other advice for the
um,
stuck ones out there?
yeah, I think I don't think it's as complicated as we try to make it out to be, but it feels like it in the moment. So I'll share, maybe this will help. But I wanted growth, which meant that like flexing new skills and muscles that I haven't really been flexing, and I wanted novelty. And the way that I chose to give myself the novelty was I started just changing where I was working. So the
Mm,
job was the same, but I would just try different coffee shops every now and then because it would just change up the environment and introduce a little novelty into my work,
yeah.
right? And it's small, but something as small as that stopped the obsession with the problem, right? And the second thing was I wanted to grow and flex skills or develop new muscles that I didn't have before. I just started focusing more on coaching and developing that practice.
Hmm.
So yeah, like the growth and the skills that I was looking for was as a manager of customer success, but because that opportunity was not presenting itself immediately, I focused on growing myself as a coach and growing my practice as a coach.
Right.
Novelty was not bringing itself in a new job offer or new company, but I could give it to myself through my environment.
Yeah. It didn't have to be this like big pivot. It was just a small one,
Yeah,
small enough that it didn't change your reality extremely, but
yeah.
it helped.
But it helps me feel grounded in myself in order to kind of bring that clarity as well. Because with working with a coach is asking you very deep, very powerful questions. But if you're not grounded and settled within yourself, you're not able to access those answers within you either. So that's why it's important to have the little tweak so that you can ease that obsession, so that way when you show up to a session you are a little bit more grounded,
Yeah.
and when you're present with the coach and reflecting on the questions in real time, you can access that clarity.
Mhm.
That's me talking as a coach, but if I were to like give another advice, it would be what I've already kind of hinted or touched on, which is just be open to trying new things. Every time I've tried something new, it's like for every 10 new things that I try, I find one thing that I'm like obsessed with and passionate about.
What's the latest thing that you found out of trial and error that you've fallen in love with?
The latest thing, what is the latest thing? um Oh, I know what the latest thing is. It's reformer Pilates.
Seriously. Hey, we've done it though
We've
years
done
ago.
it, but you would always go to it more often. I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go like once a week and like see if
Mm,
I like I yeah, I don't know. There was something because I was new to it. I wasn't used to my body moving that way. Like I'm used to, this. I'm used to intense like spin classes.
boxing. She's a big boxer.
I'm used to like hit classes like
Yeah.
boxing, spin, or like extreme cardio. So doing something that like completely slows me down, I was like I was not interested in it. So it's
Mhm.
not just about like trying something new, but it's also about giving it enough time because I had to take like a few reformer Pilates classes before I was like, oh,
I
okay,
get it now.
I get it now.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if I had just taken one class and said that's not for me, then I wouldn't have known that.
absolutely.
Yeah, but that could apply for, yeah, it could apply for expanding your skill set. Like let's just say you want to take a course. I hate to be that person, but let's just say you want to take a course on AI. I know,
AI,
I
not
know,
the AI, Barkha.
I know. We're all fed
Just
up.
kidding.
Yeah, we don't want to hear, but like that's just an example, right? Like you could, if you just, I don't know, do the day one of the class and say, oh my god, I can't, I don't want to.
Mhm.
Chances are you won't actually know whether it's for you or not. So give it a proper try.
Give things a proper try and try things if you're
Yeah.
stuck. Like literally, if you're stuck in your job, go do things extracurricular. Like go take a
Yeah.
pottery class. Go do, and then like you know what it is like people, because I've talked to clients about this too, and sometimes their take is like, but those are such random things. Like sure, I'm gonna enjoy it in the moment, and then I'm just gonna go back to my sucky
Yeah.
stuck life.
Yeah.
Well, what's your advice for them?
Well, it's not even, it's not an advice. It's more so the explanation of what it's actually doing and what the intention behind this is. The
Mhm.
intention behind this is to interrupt the pattern of the obsession with the problem. Like
Right.
yeah, you do go back to your life, your problematic life, as you probably think it is,
Mhm.
but that 1 hour of a break that your brain got builds up over time. So if every day for an hour you're giving your brain a break from thinking about your problems,
Mm,
eventually that will loosen something up. Like it will loosen that grip eventually. 1 hour, one time might not do it. It might not break an obsession,
mhm.
but it will over time.
So it is
And
productive to
it
follow
is.
the things that even make you feel good, even for a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
It's interesting you should say that though, because I have found it with clients as well. Like I remember one client where it was so obvious that they would benefit from journaling. And it was just like, no, like I tried it once like 6 years ago, wasn't for me. And I don't think I can get into it. And why I always say the identity that we carry about who we are is usually what's getting in the way.
Mm,
And also, clearly, the person that you have been so far is not working out for you.
right. So you may as
So
well
you
try
may as
something else.
well try to change. And like that's actually something that I've loved about, or like that's one of when I first discovered this, like you can change who you are at any given point. Not to sound like a
Mhm.
psychopath, but like but you can change who you are. I can change who I am tomorrow
Yeah,
and
you
just
can.
like choose to be a completely different person. That there's a freedom in that
Hmm.
that I think more of us need to embrace.
Yeah, because it means you can also change your situation if you can
Yes.
change yourself.
Yeah.
Love
and
that.
and it's also the reminder that who you are and what you've been doing, your habits that you've had, have reached a point where they're no longer working out for you. They've worked for you thus far, but they're no longer working out for you. So what's actually happening for a lot of people who are stuck is they're kind of having an identity crisis, right? Like they have to change who they've been in order to enter that next phase of their life or that next chapter
Hmm.
of their life. And that's where a lot of that resistance comes in too, because you don't know how to be a new person, or you don't know who to be, and you don't want to be. That's like the whole part of ego and identity. It's gonna fight to stay the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a battle between wanting to stay the same and then
Mm-hmm.
wanting change because you're so stuck and you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Um, Mark, I want to ask you a key question that I plan to ask on this podcast, which is, what's your definition of making it work, and what is it for you?
Making it work. What am I making it work? My definition of making it work is choosing something, and the way that you're choosing it may be based on passion. Maybe it was, my story of years ago. I had this epiphany of this is what I want to do. And then continue like sticking to it.
Hmm.
Um, for me, that making the it work is I have gone through phases or periods of my life where I have questioned, like, oh my gosh, am I in the wrong career? Like, is this time for me to just change it completely?
Mhm.
But kind of constantly going back to the fact that no, like, this is something that I'm passionate about. Here are the elements of it that I'm really passionate about. And what I'm facing right now are challenges that are requiring me to grow and expand. And like, it could be expanding my capacity, expanding my resilience, expanding my emotional regulation, right? That's
Mhm.
one thing that you have to do all the time. Like, it's requiring me to expand in a way that I can't right now, and that's why it's difficult, that's why it's challenging. But
Mhm.
making it work means choosing it and then committing to the growth that requires to thrive in it.
Hmm. Very interesting. Love that definition.
Mhm.
Um, what would you say you've had to sacrifice or say no to in order to keep making it work?
Oh, I was actually thinking about that today, interestingly enough. Social life
Social life.
in
Hmm.
my 20s, because I was like, as soon as I entered corporate, I knew right away that I wanted to be in leadership. So I had, like, I cannot fathom not being in leadership. Like, that was something that I always knew from high school, actually, not even like
From
university.
high school, you knew that you wanted to be a leader?
I knew that my title will have manager in some form.
Wow,
like
she's a
uh,
career
like
girl from
yeah,
the very
like I
beginning.
knew that. I remember, like, you had to take in grade 10. I don't know if you had to do that. We had a career class. Did you have a career class?
My school was so ghetto. I
So
don't
was
think we had a
mine.
career
So was mine.
class.
Yeah, I'm
So.
surprised that we had a career course, and
Oh.
I think it was like towards the end that they were making us take quizzes,
Oh, to find
um
out what
to
you.
find like alignment. And mind you, it's limited,
Yeah.
but all of the options that came up for me all had the word manager in it, and I was like, yeah, I knew that. I didn't need a quiz to tell me that. But because I knew that I wanted to get there as soon as possible, it required me to prioritize work,
Hmm.
because I couldn't fathom being an IC for too long. So I officially, I think I was 26 when I found out that I got the leadership role. And then it was after my birthday, 27, that I was officially taking on the role.
Wow.
So yeah, there was like sacrifices in terms of my social life that I had to make. And even when I was in university, I missed a lot of weddings. By the way, this is not advice or recommendation. This is just my story. I don't recommend this.
I think everyone's gonna have different things that they sacrifice, and a lot of the time it happens without you intending it. Like it
Yeah,
just kind of happens to you.
yeah,
You naturally prioritize certain things that need to be prioritized,
yeah.
and then there's other things that just take the back burner
Yeah.
because they just
And
do.
it took me a while, I think, to even realize. It took like one of my friends telling me, like, you realize that you only do happy hour with your colleagues and you don't do happy hour with us.
Oh.
And it was like, oh, I didn't even realize. And I was like, okay, I'll try to change that. Like, we'll change that. We'll do more stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, my social life and some of the family stuff. But I don't
Yeah.
know, like, it's one of those things, like, do I recommend it? No. But are you I think,
But would you have changed
I
it?
wouldn't have changed it. I think that's where I'm like, it's not an advice per se, but
Hmm.
I think you have to know internally what it is that you want. And I was lucky enough to know very strongly what I wanted, and I knew that I was willing to put in the work at the time to get there as soon as possible. Because the other thing is, I could have let it play out and take its time to get there
Hmm.
and not sacrificed many things along the way. And I would have gotten there maybe at like, maybe instead of 27, it would have been 30.
Right.
But I wanted it ASAP.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
That being said, do you feel like you've made it?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We love a yes.
Yes, I do. I do. Um, and the reason why I feel that is because of the clarity that I have and the acceptance that I have of hard times and challenges. Like me saying that I've made it doesn't mean that I don't want more success
Hmm.
or a promotion or become better or more money if we want to
Yeah,
like
it's not
put
like
it
the
that way.
tangible stuff.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want these things. For me, I spent a lot of time struggling internally in my mind, and a lot of it was just negativity. Like I said, like the stuckness is just like a vortex of negativity around you,
Hmm.
and I have fallen prey to it quite a lot. So for me, even just having the awareness that it is hard and it is going to be harder some days than than others, as long as I'm grounded, as long as I have my non-negotiables, as long as I have time for my friends, as long as I have time for family, life is good.
Hmm.
Life is great.
Life is great.
Yeah.
Look at the
Like
cherry
look at the cherry
blossoms.
blossoms. Life is great. So yeah, there's like after a certain point, like how much do you need to have in order to truly really like expand your happiness? You know?
Wow.
Like I know a promotion isn't going to make me happier. It's going to make me richer. There's a difference in that.
Hmm. It's not gonna make you happier. It's gonna make you richer,
Yeah.
which is
Which
also
is
okay
also,
to chase as
yes, yeah,
well.
exactly. Because if you had asked me that question a few years ago, it would have been very different, right? That's why I'm saying now I can have that perspective.
Hmm.
Now, with where I'm at, what I'm making, the clarity that I have, feeling that I'm having impact, feeling like I have a good enough work life balance. Yeah,
Yeah.
I made it.
Yeah, you did.
On that note, I think it's also important to highlight that making it is subjective and it's going to be different for
Mm,
everyone.
yeah.
And it's not just like making it doesn't have to be this a very flashy state.
Yes.
It's not like
Yes.
I feel me saying that I feel like I've made it means that I have a certain level of peace and fulfillment. Like I'm not being driven from a place of lack. I'm not driven from a place of obsession
Hmm.
that we talked about that people are like clinging on to.
Yeah.
Do I have goals? Yes. Am I approaching them from a place of obsession? No. Do I have a lot of peace and fulfillment and happiness in my day to day life as it is? Yes. So that means that as I'm working towards my goals, I don't feel like there's anything missing in my life.
Hmm.
And that's why I made the comment that more money will make me richer and I want to get richer, but it's not going to make me happier. So to
No.
me, making it is that sense of peace and the satisfaction that I have with life.
Yeah.
Because for a very, very long time, I was chasing things, not realizing that what I was actually craving was peace and satisfaction.
That's like 99% of people want that but don't know that they want it. And
Yeah.
like that's
Well,
actually the thing that they're after. Yeah,
me
you.
too. Me
Yeah, I've
too.
also had
Yeah.
that experience.
Yeah.
Um what do you feel like you are still trying to figure out though, or something that's like still, you know what, I've made it in these areas
Yeah.
but I feel like I haven't really figured this out yet.
You know what? I think when I was younger, like I said, it was from high school, I knew that my title was going to have manager one day.
Hmm.
And there was so many things. I don't know if I'm the only one who did this, but I had everything mapped out in terms of what I wanted by the time I hit 30. And then once you hit 30, you're like, well, now what? So I think that's where I'm now still trying to navigate is when I look into the future, I don't see with extreme clarity what I want, but I know that I can always ground myself into the present and say, okay, right now, where do I want to grow?
Mhm.
Right now, what are the skills that I want to be able to have? Right now, what do I want to get better at?
Mm.
And I just keep bringing it back to the now
Mhm.
and focusing on now. So what I'm trying to figure out is I don't know what my 5 year plan is. Does anyone else know what their 5 year plan is?
I threw that out the
I
window years
yeah.
ago.
I think we stopped asking that question
Oh,
altogether.
absolutely.
Like I stopped asking that question as a manager
Yeah.
because I was like, girl, good for you if you know. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what I want. in 5 years?
Oftentimes those 5-year plans too, like they end up just going out the window anyways. Like you could have a rough plan for yourself in the next 5 years, and like life just does life,
Life will life.
and
Yeah.
it's gone. It doesn't even matter what your 5-year plan was
Hmm.
anymore.
Yeah.
The plan is like right now. What's the plan today?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
am I doing today? What am I doing? Okay,
This
maybe
weekend.
for this weekend, maybe for the next couple months. I think like you still need to have some level of like direction of clarity of where you're going for
Yes.
it to make sense. Also, like you
Yeah.
can't also just be like, all right, it's gonna figure itself out, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah, you do need that clarity.
I think that's what it is. I have clarity on how I want to grow, where I want to grow, what skills I want to develop,
Mhm.
and what I want to get better at. So those are maybe the questions that I would say people
You're
can use to
yeah.
guide themselves, because that answering those questions, I know what I have to do for the rest of the year.
Mm,
Because I am like those developing a skills or getting better at something is not something that you'll do in a weekend. It'll take you some
absolutely.
time to get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of keep those questions with me to give myself, to your point, at least like a
Hmm.
year of planning.
Yeah. And those are the things that I think you'll constantly be figuring out.
Yeah, because
It's a journey.
once you develop something or once you get better at something, I think you'll automatically end up finding like something new
Hmm.
that you want to grow in.
So with this show, I wanna inspire people to be okay with like where they're at in their journey right now. The fact that you haven't made it in your head or you haven't gotten this level of success doesn't mean that you can't find some fulfillment where you are right now. It also doesn't mean that you're not going to get there,
Yes.
but it's like, how do you expect to also get there when you're not enjoying the entire process to get there? Like,
Yeah.
people go through a process to get to the made it state. They do. Every single person that you've seen, famous, not famous, like actors, singers, writers, like you name it, like whoever it is, the
Hmm.
level of success that you're looking at, that you're inspired by, they've sat here and
Yeah.
had hard times. Like,
Hmm.
it's, yeah, it
Hmm.
is, it really is true for everyone. It's just like we don't get access to those stories, so we think
Like
it
it
was
just
easy. It
happened.
was like
Yeah.
a linear path, and they just like
Oh.
they were lucky, and then it just happened, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, like they were crying in their beer at SeaWorks at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
So wholesome.
Thank you for being my first episode guest
Thank you for having
and
me.
doing
It's
this
been
with
an
me.
honor and a privilege.
Yeah, and under the cherry
Under
blossoms,
the
I
cherry
forgot to ask you,
blossoms.
what is meaningful for you? Like, we decided to do this location because you just
Yeah.
brought it up. You're like, I'd love to just talk into this little mic under the cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
Why the cherry blossoms? Why this park? Why Yaletown?
Well, Yaletown has been home for the last 6 years, and as I mentioned, there's been like it's been a long journey. There's been a lot of change, a lot of chaos, a lot of times feeling stuck, a lot of unhappiness, a lot of, all of the things. But one thing that's been constant for me over the last 6 years has been I know the cherry blossoms will come out in March, and I know that the trees will be red in September. Like those two kind of markings, it sounds simple and trivial, but it's a way to ground me. Like
Mhm.
this park, this seawall has been the constant amongst all of the change and all of the chaos for the last 6 years.
That's so beautiful because I've also lived here for like 6 or 7 years, and like I feel the exact same. This seawall, like, can't see it on the
Mhm.
camera, but everyone that
Yes.
lives in Vancouver knows it.
Yeah.
It's just the place you go when you're like either your highest highs or your lowest
Yeah.
lows. It's
Yes.
always there for you.
I actually remember standing like right over there when the night before I signed the contract for my job. Like I
Wow.
remember standing outside and it was a full moon. Like I still remember it like it was yesterday. But to your point, this is where you come, your highest highs,
Totally.
yeah, or your lowest lows. You kind of come. And you can tell by the beat that somebody's walking at. Like
Totally.
if it's a
Yeah.
low walk or a high walk.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
totally tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also had my own experiences on the seawall. Like recently, when I was trying to decide whether to do this podcast and move more into the like coaching, creative type work, um, and I was like, just give me a sign, universe. Like, just give me a sign that this is what I need to be doing. And I
Mm.
got shat on by a bird. over there.
I forgot you told me that.
Yeah. So the seawall is there for us. The
Yeah, it's
seawall
there
will
for
tell us
us.
when we need to move forward.
Yeah,
When you just need to get shit on by a bird, like it will do it for
it'll
you.
give you a sign.
Ah,
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Barkha.
Thank
It
you
was
for
a
having
pleasure.
me.